Hello, I'm Mark Ells, and this is the Town Manager Update for the period of August 20th through September 2nd. We'll be putting out instructions for our municipal budget for fiscal year 2027, mid-September. I think we're slated for around the 17th at this point. We've also got Town Manager calendar rates coming up in October, calendar year rates. So that would be any fees or rates that we're setting for January 1. So that hearing will be coming up mid-October. We're also planning for anticipating a workshop with Town Council at the September 18th Town Council meeting, focusing on fiscal policy and revenue strategy. So as we develop the budget, we'll be sharing more with you, and you can always go to our website and find our existing and previous fiscal year budgets. The Cape Cod Commission is currently updating the regional policy plan. The public comment period has been extended to September 24th of this year. Based on previous town council discussion and public input received through various planning initiatives, staff have drafted a comment letter on behalf of the town relevant to this updating of the regional policy plan. We've shared the draft letter with the town council for review and comment. And we're seeking feedback from the town council on the comment letter prior to the public comment deadline. In prior town manager communication, I've reported on the fiscal limitations of the state revolving fund. If you remember, this is where our water and wastewater money comes from the state. The Cape Cod and Islands Water Protection Fund Management Board continues to closely monitor the progress of the discussions by the Mass Department of Environmental Protection on this matter. Now, I'm the town's appointee to this Cape and Islands Water Protection Fund Board, and I serve as its vice chair. The chair of the committee, Kevin Gallagher, wrote a letter that our board reviewed, and I've shared it with you all. And what we've done is we've provided anticipated costs over the next 5 years for the Cape to the Department of Environmental Protection. They're the ones who oversee the creation of the intended use plan, which is the listing of all the projects that have been submitted that are eligible. And then ultimately they begin to look at it from a financial standpoint and how much of that can they finance in any given year. All the communities on the Cape participated in this, and you can take a look at the letter if you'd like. And we'll continue to advance strategy discussions with the state on this critical funding source for Cape Cod. On Monday, August 25th, the Old Barnstable Fairgrounds Golf Course received official Audubon certification. Director of Golf Maintenance, James Bentley, and his staff began the process in early 2022 with a full site assessment of the course and recommendations from the Audubon International. This process aligns with the town's Sustainable Land Care Management Program. The golf staff decided to pursue official Audubon certification. To become an Audubon certified golf course, the facility has to successfully implement and document a full range of environmentally responsible management practices across 6 key areas: environmental planning, wildlife and habitat management, water conservation, chemical use reduction and safety, water quality management, and outreach and education. Golf staff, with assistance from volunteers Bruce McIntyre and James Ridley, expanded natural areas and planted natural pollinator plants, including milkweed and other species, installed numerous birdhouses, a screech owl box, and an osprey nest adjacent to the pond on the 3rd hole. Additionally, we replaced outdated irrigation sprinklers with modern sprinklers that are more efficient and provided the capability to regulate their pattern. Golf staff also perform testing of groundwater and surface water 4 times annually. We've reduced the quantity of fertilizer applications and utilize organic and carbon-based products in place of synthetic options. Old Barnstable Fairground is just the 3rd golf course on Cape Cod to achieve this designation, and the first in 16 years. So great work, staff. Due to sustained dry conditions over the southeastern part of the state through the month of July, Energy and Environmental Affairs Secretary Rebecca Tepper declared the Cape Cod region in a level 2 significant drought. Drought is a look back on cumulative conditions over a period of time. The below normal rainfall, as well as higher than normal temperatures, has led to drought-like conditions setting into our region. To enhance awareness on the current drought conditions, the Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs and Mass Emergency Management are asking local, state, and regional partners and stakeholder groups to assist in disseminating this critical information to residents, businesses, and institutions in their respective communities. Although some regions may not be in a drought right now, in light of the low precipitation forecast and rising fire danger, we encourage water conservation all across the state. Attached is a 1-page drought alert that provides information on the current drought conditions and how communities across the Commonwealth can do their part to help conserve water, prevent wildfires, and prevent drought. Now in Barnstable, we have 5 fire districts, and the town and the Department of Public Works are responsible for managing the water system that serves the greater Hyannis area. It's the Barnstable water system. And it has a water board. And the water board put in place restrictions around non-essential outdoor water use. Per regulatory compliance, these restrictions were published on August 20th and shared on our town's website. You can see the link in my communication if you'd like to take a look at it. Also through the town's mobile app, social media, e-news, and published in the Cape Cod Times. The mandatory restrictions include outdoor watering by hand only, restricted to 2 days or fewer per week. Outdoor watering hours between 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. Washing of vehicles is prohibited, with a couple of exceptions. Washing of exterior surfaces are prohibited, and filling of pools is prohibited. With the continued guidance from the Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs, we will continue to share the material that they offer through social media and digital channels. And for more information on the current drought conditions, technical guidance regarding drought management actions, or for drought-related tools and outreach materials, you can visit the links that I've provided in my manager's communication. We've also developed 2 short videos on the topic, so you can take a look at those videos as well. On August 21st, 2025, I had the honor of introducing our Governor, Maura Healey, the Secretary of Energy and Environmental Affairs, Rebecca Tepper, and the Commissioner of the Department of Fish and Game, Tom O'Shea, for a biodiversity announcement regarding the administration's commitment to conserving nature for people and wildlife. The biodiversity announcement took place at the Massachusetts Audubon Long Pasture Wildlife Sanctuary in Barnstable Village. Governor Healey launched a new effort to rebuild the biodiversity and invest in nature to sustain our health, our well-being, our food security, economy, and way of life in Massachusetts and certainly here on Cape Cod. And I've given you a link to a full summary of what this biodiversity effort means. I think we're maybe the first in the nation to do anything of this scale. And I know they told us at the meeting, I think the state of California had already reached out so we could share what we're doing for their consideration. At the June annual meeting of the Woquacket Lake Protective Association, the town was asked to send a letter to lakefront owners as a reminder of the town of Barnstable's fertilizer ordinance. If you're not aware we had a fertilizer ordinance, you'll be able to access it through a link in my town manager communication, and you can take a look at it. You can also take a look at the letter that we sent to the lakefront owners. It provides important information to assist the town in its ongoing efforts to improve water quality. The town of Barnstable has over 180 ponds and freshwater ponds and lakes. The information in the letter is of value to all properties who use fertilizer. It was sent specifically, though, to that area because the Woquacket Lake Protective Association requested that we prepare the letter. We're available to work with all in our community to advance this information. But given the scale of this, we very much respond to requests and complaints relative to this matter. So feel free to reach out to us, and we'll certainly work with you moving forward with sharing this information. It isn't new, though. We adopted this several years ago. We went out and met with all of the commercial companies who apply fertilizers, for example. We also met with some of the pond and lake associations. But we're renewing this effort. You all read about cyanobacteria and other water quality related issues. And here's a way that every single one of us can better understand how to use best management practices to help on this matter. Appropriation Order 2025-184 is on the Town Council agenda this week in the amount of $2.9 million for the preservation and restoration of the Hyannis Armory located on South Street. The Community Preservation Committee voted unanimously to recommend to the Town Council that the Town Council approve the funding for the undertaking work on the exterior of the building. The link to the town architect's presentation to CPC is provided in this communication, and it provides a really nice overview of the project, historically and what's currently proposed. The building's condition is such that the exterior requires repair to stop continued deterioration. The building's reached the end of its useful life. And so I've attached also kind of a written history of the building, of our acquisition of the building, and up-to-date investment that the town's made in this facility. In review of the years of discussion and the financial investment in the facility, it really indicates that the town wants to maintain the facility as a structure in its inventory. And if that's correct, then we should proceed with the recommended improvements to the exterior. If the Town Council does not want to approve exterior improvements, we should examine what is required to demolish the facility. So I expect that we will have continued discussion on this. It isn't a discussion of future use specifically. That's another discussion we will have in the future. But right now, the exterior is leaking and cracking, and if we're going to keep this building, we either got to fix it or we got to make the decision not to fix it and remove the building. That concludes my town manager communications. And at this point, I'll turn it over to Kate Maldonado, Senior Planner for our Planning and Development Department, to provide an update. Thank you.
Hello, Kate Maldonado, Senior Planner, Planning and Development. This Thursday, September 4th, the Local Comprehensive Planning Committee will present the draft Local Comprehensive Plan to Town Council. The Local Comprehensive Plan is a long-term vision and growth policy that will guide Barnstable's future over the next 10 years with topic and location-specific goals and actions. The LCP was coordinated through a collaborative public process that identified a community vision, defined key issues and opportunities, and developed actionable items. The draft plan is accessible for review from the project website, barnstablelcp.com, via the Document Library tab.